Just got back. You see my shirt? Comedy Cabin. Shout out to the Comedy Cabin. Just a random comedy club in the middle of a cornfield in Wisconsin. Janesville, Wisconsin. Because in my mind, when I booked it, I was like, Janesville is going to be like, this is going to be like a middle of nowhere. And it's a town with like 70,000 people, so you're like, oh, it must be the suburb of a big city. No, it's a suburb of a cornfield. I didn't sell well on the road. A couple infidels showed up. For all you infidels that showed up to my road gig, I appreciate it. I'm going to be setting up smaller little dates every once in a while here and there. So keep on a lookout, my dudes. But god damn, dude. And usually in places like this, when you go, you don't expect the room to be good. You expect, it to be hard to win over the people that come. A lot of generally older people in a small town, they can be hard to impress a lot of the times. Having done my fair share of middle of the nowhere small town gigs, trust me, older people in these towns can be hard to impress. And they were fantastic. An unbelievable room. The Comedy Cabin. Room is set up perfectly small, little black box, low ceilings, great audiences. So shout out to the people of Janesville, Wisconsin. Really, after spending a bunch of time there, it was like, oh, you guys need a laugh. Like, we went to the Golden Corral, which is right by our hotel, and it just like, I'll say this, the place isn't brimming with a sense of hope that I would say a place like Austin is. And I wonder if that's most of the country, not brimming with a sense of hope right now. Man, it is rough out there for most Americans. But hey, Americans, at least it's not going to get any easier anytime soon. I don't even know who runs the country. I couldn't tell you who really runs the country at all. Feinstein's corpse, it feels like, is still running the shit. We have a vacant government right now. And it's horrifying. But yeah, Janesville, Wisconsin, the land of not very big hopes, it feels like. Now, interest rates are just unreal high. Doesn't look like they're getting any lower. It feels like the end goal of what's going on with the housing market is to freeze out millennials and Gen Z so that they become dependent on corporations for their housing. I will say this. Went to Wisconsin, had the cheese curds, phenomenal. Yo, first time having cheese curds, unreal. So good. They are like mozzarella sticks with none of the downside. I don't know if that makes sense really, but it makes sense in my heart. You know what I mean? Because sometimes when I get mozzarella sticks, I'm like, I didn't need this much. The first bite of the stick is good, and then the last half is like, I'm just sort of finishing this stick to get to the next stick. Cheese curds don't got that. They're small, you pop them in, it's like, oh, this is the initial bite of the mozzarella stick. That's what makes them fantastic. And me just saying that is probably sending some Wisconsinites up the wall. You're comparing them to what? No, I'm saying they're better than. They're definitely the same family as mozzarella sticks. And I'll die on that hill. Cheese curds and mozzarella sticks are cousins. And we can fucking fight about it if you want. I say, and this might be a hot take, cheese curds are in the Regional Food Hall of Fame. If I'm thinking off the top of my head, you got cheese curds, you got poutine, which I've never tried, right? But it's like fries with cheese curds and gravy. I've never tried, but the fact that everyone knows what it is, and everyone who's never had it is like, that sounds kind of gross, and everyone over up there loves it. I think the controversy alone of poutine and the well-known, like its fame puts it in the Regional Food Hall of Fame. Maryland crab cakes, they go there. New England clam chowder, welcome to the Hall of Fame. I'm just inducting people here. I'm going to say the California burrito. And that's maybe biased because I lived in San Diego for so long. But the California burrito, come on down. You are in the Regional Food Hall of Fame. Queso, you get a shot. North American Regional Food Hall of Fame. I don't know what's going, I'm sure there's some sort of octopus in southern Japan that's fantastic. Oh, you got that Hokkaido puss? That shit is good. This happened to me on my flight to Milwaukee. I'm on Southwest and early boarding group A, check in on time, baby. Right? I sit down, get my window seat. Pretty early into the boarding process, this woman sits next to me, Like way too early. Like, hey, there's a lot of window and aisle seats open. I doubt you want a middle seat now. So what's this about immediately? And then she pulls out her phone and starts doing Wordle. And her first word is horny. And I was like, are you saying something to me? This feels like it. You're sitting here way too close to me. Your opening word is horny, which is a terrible opening word for Wordle. That's what made me feel like it. It's like, what? That's your opening word? A Y. Your opening word has a Y in it. That's horrible opening strategy. Look, obviously, we're just on a plane, so she's not trying to hit on me. But let's say on the outside situation, like the outside chance that she was, the fact that she used horny as her opening strategy for sure turned me off. That's your opening word?